Hey there everyone, thanks again for tuning in to Sin's Workshop. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So, I'm excited. Today we're going to be talking about Comfort Me with Apple by Catherine M. Valente. I always want to say Valentine, but no, it's Valente. This book absolutely 100% blew my mind. Okay, so, backstory. When I first picked up this 103-page book, I read the synopsis and I'm like, oh, this is totally a retelling of Bluebeard. Totally a retelling of Bluebeard, without a doubt. And as I was reading it, I wasn't wrong, but I was so not completely right either. Oh my God. The type of retelling that this book actually is, completely, 100% blew my mind. I ended up rereading it. After I finished it, I went back and reread it because, oh my God, it's like, how did I not see it to begin with, right? It was just such an amazing novel. 100% an amazing novel. I mean, I can't express to you. I mean, I guess I can. You're seeing it right here. It's just how insane this book is. It's insane. This book is 100% insane. I will say Valente did an excellent job. You know, it's just equal parts horror and fantasy and domestic thriller all wrapped up together in this neat little ball, but it's also more than that. You've also got some Greek mythology in there, and you've got some Christian themes in there as well. And it's all wrapped together in this nice, neat little 103-page book. All of those elements. You would think they would kind of clash together, you know? You've got Greek mythology, you've got Christian themes, you've got horror, you've got fantasy, you've got domestic thriller. You would think all of that together would create this kind of hodgepodge of a story that actually wouldn't really be interesting, but Valente is such a talented writer. She's able to put all those elements together and they work so well together. I mean, it's just crazy how well it worked. I would have never thought in a million years, oh yeah, definitely, let's mix in some domestic thriller with some horror and some fantasy, along with some Greek mythology and some Christian themes. Let's do that. Let's see if it'll work. In my head, I know any good author, any good writer, if they set out to do something, if they're that passionate about it, it's going to work out. You know, it will work out for them the way they want it to work out. But then there's the other side of me who's just like, there's no way all those elements are going to work well together. Like, there's no way. You know, even thinking back, I'm just like, how the hell did she pull it off? Because she is just so well. She's just such a good author, Valente. 100% she is. I cannot stress that enough. I can't just express that enough. I'm sorry. This book just kind of blew me away to such extremes. It was just so well written. It was that well written. And there's also this eeriness to it. And that's what Valente really does really well. It's this eerie atmosphere. And you see it right from the cover, you know. Everything is perfect. And that already to me is just like, okay, that's unsettling. That's odd. What the heck? And that's what really grabbed me when I first picked up this book. I'm like, this cover, this aesthetic. And then those three little words. Everything is perfect. It's like something out of the Stepford Wives, you know? And that's what I was partially thinking. I'm like, oh, is this going to be a Stepford Wives kind of retelling? If you think about it, the Stepford Wives is kind of loosely a retelling of Bluebeard. If you think about it. Just really think about it. It's a little bit of a stretch, but kind of not. But I mean, then you have this opening right here. This little description. Sophie was made for him. Her perfect husband. She can feel it in her bones. He is perfect. Their home together in Arcadia Gardens is perfect. Everything is perfect. There's that repetition. that creates such an unsettling atmosphere, and it carries on throughout the entire narrative. You know, everything is perfect. She was made for him. Everything is perfect. She was made for him. Her husband loves her. That repetition is what sets up this very eerie atmosphere. Everyone constantly asking Sophie, are you happy? It's like, of course I'm happy. Are you happy? Yes, I'm happy. Are you happy? Why are you asking me that? You know, that repetition creates that unsettling atmosphere and that eerie atmosphere, and it's what really makes the story stand out, and it's what really grabs you as a reader, because you're trying to figure out, like, what in the heck is going on in this town. And you know, it kind of just, it starts off very oddly too, you know. This is how it starts off, and I'll read this first paragraph to you, because you would not think this is the way a story's going to start, right? And this is where I got more of that whole Stepford Wives kind of feel, you know. The following agreement is made this first day of the first month between the members of the Arcadia Gardens Homeowner Association, hereinafter known as the Association, and the title holders of One Cedar Drive, hereinafter known as the Residents, and the property, respectively. You know, that doesn't seem like the beginning of some sort of horror or fantasy retelling. No, it does give you that sense that, okay, this is going to be some sort of domestic thriller. There's something wrong with this association, and that's where I got a little bit more of this whole Stepford Wives kind of vibe to it. And as I was reading, and as everything's kind of just progressing, it was just right here, perfect line right here. Tears float on the crescents of her eyes, and she does not know why. There's just so much. There's so much. It's just, it's unsettling when you're reading it. I'm trying not to, like, open the book so I can read you things, because I'm kind of getting lost in it, and I really want to reread it a third time. But there's so much I want to express to you, but it doesn't spoil it, and I don't want to spoil it, because half of what really got me was just half of the mind-blowing, jaw-dropping. I mean, I kid you not. I kid you not. I was reading this book, and I was reading it in bed, and my husband was sitting at the desk. He's playing his video games. I don't even remember which video game it was. And as I was reading it, I was literally like, holy shit. My husband's like, everything okay? And I'm like, you have no idea what I just read. You have no idea what I just read. And I gushed about it. And I'm like, I have to reread this. I have to reread this. And I ended up rereading it. So, yeah, I kept us both up late last night just so I could read my freaking book here a second time. Took me no time at all. But it was just like, what the fuck? That's literally what I was, that's literally what I was thinking. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck did I just read? But it was good. It was good. It was so amazing. I can't express that enough to you. How well done, and how thoughtful, and how just mind-blowing this book was. I mean, it was freaking insane. So, on that note, I think we already know what I'm going to give this. Come From Me with Apples by Valentine's. I'm going to give 5 out of 5 stars. It's amazing. I will read this book again probably 300 more times if I can find the time to squeeze it in, because it was so good. I mean, 103 pages? I can squeeze that in. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Read this book. It's amazing. Highly recommend. So on that note, was this a review, or is this just me gushing about how much I love this book? I'll let you decide. On that note, if you want to go ahead and buy the book, please remember to purchase from your local bookseller, online book retailer. Money's tight. Check out the book from your local library. And I hope you all continue to support me here on Sin's Workshop by liking this video, subscribing, and sharing with all your book-loving friends. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And as always, happy reading.